Welcome to this episode of DIY3DTech.com. In this episode, a design talk where every solution starts with a problem. I want to share with you this a little bit of out-of-box thinking from a design perspective, how I walked into a need and solved the problem. So, kind of long story short, and I'll have the link down below and maybe image up in the corner. I purchased this arm off of Amazon, and the idea is it's a hydraulic arm, and it's supposed to hold a computer monitor and a keyboard. You kind of see the keyboard tray here. Should probably start it out this way. So you put the keyboard here, and it's got, so you can put a phone and charger here, and this actually mounts on the arm. Now, one of the things that I decided after doing this is I really didn't want to have a desktop computer under the bench and a keyboard here and everything, and I wanted to use my laptop, but I got a great deal on this and I wanted to reuse this. So one of the first things I did in trying to think of my reuse is I started disassembling it, and that's kind of one of the tips here. And when I disassembled it, I noticed how this kind of went together. So this is my molded keyboard tray, and you notice the holes here match the holes over here. So what I began looking at is I simply needed a mechanism to be able to sit a laptop on this and kind of roughly attach it to this, and I could replace this. I could keep this, and the monitor arm here I simply just removed, and I'm just going to drill some through holes here and mount the other two bolts, kind of cover that piece up, and so it kind of just struck me, why don't I design something? So I turned to OpenSCAD. And then again, you could do this in Fusion 360, whatever. And what I did is I measured the bolt holes that match up here and decided to create a set of bolt holes or stanchions that elevate it, because when we begin to look at this, we see the rise here that we have, the separation, because this also slides back and forth, which is really cool. And so again, all I needed to do is match this up. So in OpenSCAD, to reduce printing, I took one of my pegboard models, increased the hole size to reduce the amount of plastic, and then put these stanchions. Now, the other thing you'll notice to build up the strength of these, I also built rather beefy fillets around here, and the idea is this now matches up and this mounts here. And then what I can do is take some double-sided sticky tape, put on these areas here where I filled in the holes with a kind of square, just an OpenSCAD, if you will, and stick the laptop right to it, and it'll sit on this platform. I can put my calculators, paper, and pens here, and I can have this all set. So again, this was about 36 bucks and super cheap. Now, a lot of the laptop ones I saw were much more expensive, and Amazon had this one on sale. So this was really a simple reuse using a 3D printer to come up with a new model, and some really out-of-the-box design thinking. And again, as I have or will cover out in other videos, you know, one of the things you want to take a look at is how the force is applied in pieces like that. And again, because this is raised up, I wanted to have some extra strength here, and I printed this out of PLA, so it's pretty rigid, and I kind of like that concept here. And then I measured out the holes, so these holes are the same size, so I can reuse the screws. And again, this just all lines up here. So anyways, I thought this was a real simple design that makes reuse out of you know, a rather economical component. And kind of what I want to share here is this is something to think about as you have different components. You may run across this in a dumpster find. How can you rework it and just do a little bit of thinking, and you can come up with this. So hopefully you found this interesting, maybe a little bit inspirational about again, sort of design thinking, if you will, how we've taken this pegboard shape, these stanchions, and reused it in this model. So if you found this interesting, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget the subscribe button with the bell. I put out regular content, and swag shops up in the corner. Cheers, catch you in the next video.
Please click like below and subscribe to the channel.